Hello, everyone, and welcome to another exciting episode of the Financial Insight Show. My name is Mwelwa Chibesakunda, and I'm at the Africa Works branch in Lusaka at the Agora Village, where I'm about to have a very interesting conversation with somebody from Graduate Properties. So stay tuned for insights from this particular interview. Welcome back to this interview. So as I'd indicated in the intro, I'm sitting down with Graduate Properties member of the board, Mr. Sitali. How are you doing?
Very well, thank you. FIZ, all is good. And how are you?
I'm doing great. I'm doing great. Thank you so much for accepting our invitation to come and sit down with us. But for many people that do not know about what Graduate Properties is and what they've been involved in, and even yourself, maybe just to give us a summary of who you are and what Graduate Properties is all about.
Thank you very much, and good morning, respected viewers. As he has already intimated, I'm Collins Mabuku Sitali. I'm currently the board chairman for Graduate Property Development Limited, which is the special purpose vehicle that actually owns the EastPark Mall. And basically, Graduate Property Development is in property development. That's really our strength.
Absolutely, absolutely. Now, for many of our viewers who don't know what EastPark is, because we've got an international viewership, EastPark is one of the leading malls in Lusaka, Zambia. Tell us about how you came about to get involved in this particular project, and how long has it been running for, and are you able to tell us the current scale and status of the project?
Yeah, thank you very much. That's a very brilliant question, and really it delves me back into the history of EastPark Mall. EastPark is basically a mall. It's a shopping mall. And basically the love story of EastPark dates back to 2007, when the University of Zambia placed an advert in the press in which they requested would-be developers to show interest in developing the piece of land that they owned along Great East Road. Okay. And so my colleague and I, the late Frederick Katai, who was an architect, a great mentor for me, we sat together, looked at the advert, and we gained interest. And therefore, we responded to the expression of interest that was put in the paper by the University of Zambia. And against that expression of interest, we fought together and alongside other would-be and interested developers. In all, we were 5. But after the procurement process, which ran through the University of Zambia, the Council of the University of Zambia, and the then the Zambia National Tender Board, which is a forerunner of the current purchasing unit of government, which is the public, what do they call them again, the procurement unit of government. So we participated in the tender, and luckily we managed to win the tender, and therefore we entered into negotiations with the University of Zambia. And I must state at this particular point that it was not an easy journey, because you see, from 2007, the contract for EastPark Mall was only awarded in 2010. Wow. And therefore, we had a gap of almost 4 years in which the procurement process was going through. So after that 4 years, we had the pleasure of signing the contract with the Council of the University of Zambia. And after that, we were given a 3-year development period. Okay. So we needed to develop the mall in 3 years. And we had this big task now of finding the money to develop. We therefore had an opportunity to link up with Intermarket Banking Corporation, which is now in liquidation. They came on board and they became our partners. And we soldiered on with them, and generally speaking, they were more of our big brother, and they were the ones to help us look for funding and so forth. Unfortunately, at some point, Intermarket Banking Corporation changed hands in terms of ownership, and the new owners were not interested in the project.
Really? How did that impact you at that particular stage?
It was a very, very big blow, because at that point we did not know where to turn to. So when they pulled out, they gave us a bill to buy them off, and Mr. Katai and I did not have enough resources really to buy them off. But we fought with them, negotiated, they brought their fee down, and finally we bought them off. Still, that never solved our problem, because the amount of money that was required to develop an infrastructure of that magnitude was quite huge and mammoth. So we therefore embarked on a program to look for other would-be developers to join hands with us. It's within this process that we came across a gentleman called Mr. Casili, Diego Casili. He came on board with his dear wife, Gillian, and also there was a gentleman by the name of Peter Campbell, who also came on board. So we together joined hands. In this process, we were more looking at people who would come to sort of complement our skills. We were more on the technical side, because you see, Mr. Katai was an architect, and I come from a legal and quantity surveying background. And so we needed people who would come and fill in the gap of finance and so forth. So Diego was very much on spot with regard to that response. So we teamed up with this gentleman and lady, and thereafter, the story of EastPark Mall is now there for everyone else to see.
Wow, this is actually an amazing story. I can only imagine, are you able to set the tone of what the property market was like, and obviously what the conversation was like when you connected with the Casilis? Because obviously now, malls of this particular scale, you already had, like, I think Amanda Hill that had already been in existence that was also growing. I think, Arcades as well was also picking up. What was it like, and what was the thing that really made, all the partners that came on board really excited to join the venture?
As a matter of fact, as you have rightly pointed out, at that time, only Mandahill was the mall of Lusaka, and all of us in Lusaka would definitely meet at Mandahill. So it needed people who could see the potential that this piece of land along Great East Road had, and also people who had the vision to realize that we need more of the shopping malls. As you may know, shopping malls are a very important catalyst in economic development, including infrastructure development. And what was more interesting for us was that this particular mall was premised on a public-private partnership. In other words, the land belonged to a government institution, being the University of Zambia. And therefore, there was need for the private sector to join hands with the public sector to create this animal called EastPark Mall. So at that point, Diego was already in property development with other things he was doing. And so it was very easy for him to gain interest in what we were doing, because it was very close to what he was already doing. And so we had to engage into this partnering process to help realize the goals of the project. I think I must say that it wasn't an easy journey, because, dealing with government is never an easy task. We had our own ups and downs. But
Are you able to share some of the ups and downs? I mean, obviously you have overcome them. What are some of the ups and downs that you...
First of all, the procurement process of government is very lengthy. And they have so many committees that have to sit before an approval is given. For instance, You'd sit with the procurement committee of the University of Zambia. Then it would be taken to some estate committee of the council of the University of Zambia. Then the matter is escalated to council. From council, the Ministry of Education needed to have their approval. And from there, the Zambia National Tender Board then also had to give their approval. And then the process comes back now to inform you, and you go through and through again. So we had a lot of challenges. I think also one of the most difficult things was the fact that, you see, the way the public sector and the business sector view business is quite different, because somehow our objectives at some point have to vary. But I think despite all this, I must also give credit to the University of Zambia for being with us in this process, and I think they tried their level best to let the project be what it is today. Yeah, so in a nutshell, probably those are some of the issues I can point out, particularly the procurement process. And also one of the difficulties is that, you see, from the University of Zambia point of view, there's a lot of changes that occur almost every year or 2 years. You know, the leadership, the vice chancellor is changed, the management team is changed, the council is changed. So every time you have to bring to speed the new team that is put in place. So it's never an easy task. And in the process, information from their end is lost. So sometimes they ask for information which they already have. But I guess we are used to that. That's normal, and we do understand, because it's a big organization, and with these changes, it's very difficult for them to keep pace with what is happening. But all in all, I think they have done very well.
Absolutely, absolutely. Now, you know, many people now have had an opportunity to visit, you know, the mall itself. Are you happy with the state at which it's actually reached, and was it part of the initial vision or dream that you had in terms of a modern facility such as what we have today?
I think EastPark Mall has done extremely well. And as a founding shareholder, I'm very proud of that. Because firstly, in 2019, EastPark Mall won an award on the African continent of the best retail mall in Africa, where we competed with all other malls in the continent. And in the finals, we had one mall from Nigeria, Landmark, and we also had one mall from Cote d'Ivoire. But we emerged victorious, and we have that award in our office. So that already tells the story that EastPark Mall has fared very well on the international scene. Secondly, EastPark Mall is the flagship of the PPP partnership arrangements in this country. If you are to talk about a successful PPP program, which the government has run with the private sector, I think EastPark Mall stands out. When you look at EastPark Mall again, you have the opportunity to envisage the amount of tax that the companies that operate at EastPark Mall are able to pay to the government of Zambia. That's a very big score. When you look at people who drop to EastPark Mall to go for work every morning, you can see the employment levels which EastPark Mall has brought into the country. Not only that, we have international and local brands at EastPark Mall. So you find that our local businesses now have a platform in the mall to showcase what we can do in Zambia. We have a lot of shops that deal with African and Zambian brands. So we have given them a platform to showcase what's there. There's also, FIZ, an issue of economic multiplier effect. When you look at the surrounding area of EastPark Mall, you realize that it has attracted a lot of development in other areas, be it offices, hotels, restaurants, lodges, and the like. So EastPark Mall is a hub that has attracted a lot of economic activity around its area. So there are a lot of things that we can look at which EastPark Mall has scored. And I think everything is there for the public to see. It's also a social hub. If it's Valentine's, everybody's at EastPark Mall. Yeah, it's a social hub for the people in Lusaka. It also boosts tourism. I have seen people who have traveled from Botswana, from Zimbabwe, coming to EastPark Mall because they want to come and chill at Chicago's, they want to be at Cargo 88 Hotel, and so forth. So we have boosted tourism also from that score. So yes, I proudly want to state that I think EastPark Mall has scored a lot for the Zambian people. And we really thank the Zambian people for the support that they have given us. We thank the University of Zambia for the support and the government as well.
Absolutely, absolutely. Yeah. All right, Mr. Sitali, thank you so much for speaking to us. Are you able to share with us if there's any other projects that you're going to be jumping on, and would you do another Triple P?
Well, there are a lot of things in the pipeline. Of course, ours is a long journey. It doesn't end with EastPark Mall only. We are focused on many other projects, and I think we don't want to give the Zambian people a prelude to that. I think would rather they wait and see, but a lot more things are coming up in proper development, and very soon there will be announcements to that effect.
Absolutely, yeah. Absolutely. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for watching this particular conversation with Mr. Sitali. I have thoroughly enjoyed this conversation, and also the insights that you provided about, one of Zambia's beloved malls.
Thank you very much.
Thank you so much. So stay tuned for more insights on the Financial Insight platforms, and get to know.